Hello and welcome. Good to see everybody here. This is a surprise live stream today. I did not my normal time for streaming, but I thought it would be fun to do a stream on Black Friday today and also get a chance to show you some of the new stuff in the YoloBox. The YoloBox Pro here is the feature for today, and going to go over some of the new features here. And also I wanted to share some of my other favorite live streaming gear that is on sale today. So we'll talk more about that soon, but good to see everybody in the chat. I see some new faces as well, so thank you all for joining. And of course, we know that we are all wondering how to enter the giveaway for the YoloBox. YoloLive was very kind and wanted to do a giveaway for a YoloBox Pro. So that is also part of the stream today. And I will tell you more about that as we work through what we've got on the schedule today. So everybody in the chat, thanks for joining. I see a lot of familiar faces and some new ones, which is always nice to see. So yeah, where are we going to start? I want to share some of the new features in the YoloBox because it's been a while since I've done any overviews of the firmware updates, which they've been coming out with several new versions of it since for a while now. Lots of good updates in the YoloBox, and yeah, we are going to tell you how to do the giveaway, how to enter the giveaway. The short version is there is a link in the description below, and that is how it's the system I normally use for the giveaways. It looks something like, where is it? Oh, I lost my tab that has it. It looks something like this. And there are several ways to enter as usual. Everything from visiting a Facebook page to sending in a photo of your streaming rigs. I really like seeing those, so I did that again. Post a link somewhere, Twitter, Instagram, Flickr, Tumblr, it doesn't matter. Post a link somewhere with a photo of your streaming rigs, and there will be a place where you can add that link into this giveaway. And I just realized that I need to change my little macro here for the super source layout. So I'm going to do that really quick. And now I should be able to do that. Excellent. So cool. I decided to do the stream today from this table instead of that table. So everything's, again, a little bit different here. Reminder, if you do have a question for me as we're going through this, please put the letter Q in front, and that sorts it on my screen a little better so I can see the questions separate from the chat going on. So yeah, we're going to go through some of the features here and then answer questions. The other thing I wanted to mention about the giveaway, there are several different things you can do to get more chances to enter. Everything you do will give you an extra number of entries. The photo that you post is worth 10 entries, for example. And then if you come back every day, there's like a button to click that gives you extra entries. The winner is going to be announced on Sunday during my normal live stream time. So make sure you come back on Sunday for the actual drawing where I'll draw that live. Also, there is a secret code I'm going to show on the screen at some point during the stream. Again, I like doing that. And I know several of you have done this before in my giveaways where you've found the secret code on the screen. It's going to be a little bit different this time. I'm not going to tell you how it's different, but it's going to be a little bit different. The code will end up being the same sort of format. It's like a letter and a bunch of numbers, but it's not going to look like it has in the past. And yes, really, I'm not going to forget the secret code this time. I have it ready. It is queued up, and I don't know when I'm going to show up. It'll make an appearance at some point, and it may not look like it has before. All right. Keith, thanks for the congrats. Yeah, YoloBox has been a great company. They've been super awesome to work with, and I've been giving them a lot of feedback over the last year or so on these devices, and they've been doing a great job of incorporating feedback and continuing to push out updates on the YoloBox. So yeah, it's really great. Okay, we're gonna take a look at some of the questions here. Is there anything? Ooh, Jeremy has a good question, but it's a little bit of a tough one for right now. If you were to rent a streaming bonding device for a one-off event, what would you recommend and why? So I will admit that I haven't done outdoors events much because it's been many years since I've done that as like as a job, and then the pandemic happened, so I haven't been going anywhere except for very recently. I don't know. I don't have much experience with bonding devices. I've heard things, but honestly, it's the same stuff everybody else has heard anyway. So I don't have a concrete recommendation. I have tried a little bit to play around with building one out of a Raspberry Pi and Speedify. I don't even have enough real experience to recommend that over any other particular version. Not Slim says, I don't have a streaming rig. I use web-based service StreamYard or a cell phone for outdoor productions. That's super cool. I mean, that counts. That counts. Take a picture of that. Take a picture of using... Oh, Keith, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it just because. Thank you. Thanks for the super chat. That's very kind. If you're using StreamYard and a web-based solution or like a cell phone, just let me see it. I'm curious what it looks like. What does it look like when you're using that? I think that's pretty cool. Also, I haven't heard of people using StreamYard outside. I've mostly only seen it being used for indoor like studio stuff. So that is very cool. Totally counts. That counts for an entry. Bailey says, I subscribed to your newsletter a while ago, so I don't have the confirmation code. Oh yeah, I made a thing on the contest so that you get extra points if you subscribe. Then like after you go through the flow, it'll give you this little code. I think if you subscribe again with the same email, I think it'll just show you the confirmation code at the end. If not, I will make sure it does before Sunday. So try that. Let me know if it works. If it doesn't work, let me know, and I will fix it because that obviously should count. Cool. Or I'll just make it like show your confirmation code if you enter your email address. The super chats really show how little latency there is, especially in the chat. That's super cool. Yeah. The interesting thing about today's stream is I'm trying something new, which is I'm streaming to YouTube, but also to Amazon Live. And I've signed up for I've been, the Amazon affiliate for a long time, but I signed up for their little live streaming thing. And I have like a list of the products I'm going to mention queued up in that link, and you can like highlight them. So we'll see how that works. The chat's not integrated with this. Chat is coming from YouTube, but we'll see how the Amazon streaming works. So anyway, what I'm doing is I'm streaming from my normal, from the web presenter to my server in the closet over there. And that is then pushing out to both places. And that's pushing a copy of the stream to YouTube, not doing any transcoding itself. The interesting thing is right before I went live, Amazon's app was like, your bitrate is too high. We don't like you. And it has to be 2 megabits. And I was like, oh gosh, I should have tested this ahead of time. And, what I had to do was really quickly look up the ffmpeg command to downscale, to down convert, and thankfully it worked first try. So I am pushing a copy of the stream at 2 megabits to Amazon, and then it was like, cool, we like your stream now. So that's interesting. I'm sure Amazon's servers are just melting down right now with everybody who's doing Black Friday streams, though. So we'll see. Chris says, I tried subscribing again and nothing, no code. Okay, so I will fix that before Sunday. You have till Sunday to enter anyway, so you don't gain anything by doing that particular thing right now. So I will fix it, and you will be able to go through the subscription flow again, and then it will show you the confirmation code. Same with Bailey. Okay, well, sorry about that. I will fix it. Thank you for letting me know. Adam says, my viewers didn't support me on Amazon, lost my affiliate stat, going to reapply in the spring. Interesting. Well, we'll see if I lose my stat, because this is the first time I've done it, and I have no idea how people even find you on Amazon. Not Slim says, I believe the YoloBox Pro could be a whole new era of live streaming for our team. I agree. It is a pretty cool thing. It is a pretty cool device. So let's go take a look at that right now and go through some of the new features, because there are some pretty cool new things. Okay, first of all, I want to go through a couple of the major new features in the device. And let's see, I'm going to show that to you here. So a couple of the sort of bigger changes in the device. One of the more recent changes, which I guess I could pull up my green screen. It is right there. It's the chroma key feature. So if you are on a camera, you can actually just turn on chroma keying, and this will chroma key out your video. And this lets you put yourself on other backgrounds, right? So in fact, I probably should just pull up my green screen while we're here. Oh, look at that. Caveat, this is not the best green screen lighting, but it does work. Let's just show you the full YoloBox screen. So you can see that there's stuff over there that is not being keyed up because my green screen is not wide enough. But for the for the main part behind me, this is already working very well. And this is just my sort of normal, here, I'll turn it off. This is what it looks like on the camera, and it's keying that out. It's not even a very good, I didn't even light that very well. It's like, you don't want a gradient when you're lighting a green screen, you want it flat, but it's dealing with it anyway. And you can like change, you know, how much of the green, change how much of the green to key out. There we go. So I'll make it go like, oh, it's too much. There we go. That looks about right. And it's doing a good job, even though my lighting is terrible. Okay, so then we've got this, and then you can add a background image here. So you can actually say like, you can say, you know, I want just a color background, and now my video has that background on it. Okay, this is again not the best keying job in the world. That's a little better. And this is the camera now. So when I go back to the YoloBox, I can switch between the two camera angles, and this one now is keyed out on top of that background. So if I had framed my camera properly, it would be, you know, all the way to the edge. So now I've got the two camera angles to switch between, and this is working just great. It does exactly what you would want, which is fantastic. So that's pretty cool. That is the Chroma key feature. That was in a recent update, a couple of weeks ago, I want to say. I don't remember the exact date, but yeah, that was super cool. So that's number one. I guess I should probably put the green screen down now, and maybe I can turn off the keying as well on the YoloBox. Sorry, that was loud. All right. Yeah, so I don't know. It's like super easy, which is nice. It's one of the easiest green screen systems I've used, because the ATEM has green screening too, but it is a lot more fiddly. In the video I did about the YoloBox comparing it to the ATEM, I went through a lot of the details of that, and you can see the difference in how you have to set it up. There's just a lot more settings in the ATEM to make it work, and they both do about the same quality at the end of the day. Like it looks about the same when you have it decently lit. So it is super cool that the YoloBox just makes it super, super easy. So cool. That was number one. That was a couple of firmware updates ago, but very good to see. Let me see if I can find that date. Chroma key. Oh, it was actually, I think, in the summer. But it's been a while since I've done, yeah, it was August. Been a while since I've done one of these videos. Okay, then one of the other cool things that they added, which is good to see. Normally when you're, or previously when you were in a stream, you had to have an internet connection for this thing to do anything. So like when you launch it, it starts at this kind of screen where you're like, you've got your little events, and in order to get into that streaming screen, you would have to have an internet connection and have to be online. What they added was, if you go in here, there is a new monitor mode. And basically what that does is it loads up this interface, but there's no go live buttons. You know, that go live button is missing. So this is just for offline use. So you can, for offline use, you can record, and you can record with the SD card, or you can just use it as a monitor sending the HDMI out, which is how I'm doing this screen. This is just HDMI out into my switcher, so you can see the screen. And this means you can use it even if you don't have an internet connection, which is nice because sometimes you just want to use it to record a stream and not actually stream. So that was a recent update too, which is also excellent. And I know a lot of people were happy about that. It made a lot of people happy seeing that. But I'm going to go back into the event that I have set up for streaming, because I do want to actually show you the real stream at some point. I will show you that. Cool. Okay, let me take a look at the chat. Bailey says, was it YoloBox who also sponsored the Mark II stand label? Yes, it was. They did sponsor the custom nameplate for the YoloBox stand. And Chris asks, does the YoloBox giveaway include the stand? It does. So that reminds me, the other part of the special event today, the giveaway will be a bundle. It'll be the YoloBox plus the stand. And the other part of today's event is YoloBox is having a Black Friday special on the YoloBox and Pro. And this is a very good deal. I have not seen the price drop this low before. So the link is down below, and that is, I believe, yes, it is. It is $100 off of the normal price, which is, so that's down to $1,200 now for the YoloBox Pro US, and the original one is down to $749. So caveat on the original one, it is missing some of the features of the Pro. So it doesn't have, I believe it doesn't have the Chroma key feature because the CPU wasn't powerful enough. But that is a great price for that one if you want the smaller one. And as part of this stream today, for the first 3 people who buy one today, and you do have to buy it today, YoloBox will actually also send you my stand. So if you send in the receipt, which I'll give the email address to send to in a minute, then the first 3 people will also get the YoloBox stand sent to them, either the original or the Pro. We have versions for both. And that is you can get it in red or black, your choice. And that is this nice little bundle that turns it into a nice little desktop thing, which is also how I'm showing you this one. Tilts it up a little bit, and you can attach things to the back. So I've got the Hollyland microphone on the back, and it just makes it a little bit nicer to use on a table. So that is part of the deal today. In order to claim that, you need to have a receipt from today through Sunday and send it to me and YoloBox. And now I have to look up the email address. That is sending it to Frank. I'll drop this in the chat. Oh my gosh. Where did it go? This was the one thing I forgot to queue up ahead of time. Good job, Aaron. Okay, email receipts to Frank and me. Okay, and did I get that right? Yeah, so just email a copy of your receipt to the address in the chat. And as long as the receipt's dated any time between Friday and Sunday, my stream, then that qualifies. And yeah, if you're in a different time zone, so for people in Australia, it's already Saturday. That's fine too. It doesn't have to be, it has to be after today. Cool. Okay. And then I think that worked on, yes. Okay, it did. Great. Here are the addresses to send to. And yes, I got that right. Fantastic. Okay, so that's the other part of the special today. Let me keep going through the questions. Ooh, here's a good one. Did Yolo get the stuck chat bug figured out? You know, the one that bit you in California? They did. So this was something that took a while to track down. It's really funny. So the problem was when I did the stream in California, I was showing chat messages on the screen from the YoloBox, which, you know, it has the little interface. I'm not on YouTube here, but it'll show comments on the screen here, and you can tap them to show them just like I normally do on my stream like this. And the problem, which is really funny, the app shows 100. So as soon as you get 100 messages, then the old ones will disappear from the list. So you can only scroll back to the last 100 messages. And 100 is a lot, but like I'm sure we've already got more than 100 messages in this stream. So what was happening is as soon as I was showing one, if it kind of like went out of that most recent 100, then it would not get removed from the screen. And that's why it was so hard to track down the problem, because you have to have a stream that has over 100 messages and also show one from 100 ago, from over 100 ago, and then it gets stuck. So they figured it out, they tracked it down, figured it out, and fixed it, and that has now been published in an update. I think that was fixed in the, what is it? The most recent, 4 days ago, comment overlap issue has been fixed. It didn't have that, like they were saying that not many people had that problem because sometimes you just don't get 100 chat messages in a stream. So that's why it took them a long time to figure out. And they also didn't like put it in the main release notes, I think. But yeah, I'm very glad that's fixed. That is super cool. Okay. Other questions. Oh, Bailey says the monitor mode was requested by Tom Buck, another awesome YouTuber who I highly recommend watching. It shows how much YoloLive listens to their community and buyers. I 100% agree. Tom was very, very adamant about the monitor mode feature, and he requested it. And I think he actually got credited in the release notes for the for that feature, which was pretty funny. Like it has like his name in the release notes. So that was cute. But yes, also go watch Tom because his channel is great. He does a lot of fun videos. Jeremy says, where we live affect our chances of winning postage import fees? It doesn't affect your chances of winning, but it may affect obviously how much you have to pay to receive the package. Anybody is open to win because YoloLive is shipping things, and my stand is shipping from our EU place, which they can ship anywhere. And the I don't know like what happens on your end when you receive a package. Sometimes you have to pay import fees. It depends on where you live. But as far as like chances of winning, no, it's open to anybody. Bailey says, where did you buy the aluminum extrusion form for the stands? Looking to make one to attach the ATEM to a Rodecaster. I didn't buy the ones that are in the stand because those are from our manufacturers, from NX3D, and they've been sourcing the aluminum extrusion. I don't know where they get it from, but they get it from someone who then also cuts it down to the right size so they don't have to deal with chopping that many pieces of metal. I have bought some myself just from Amazon, and I've just bought it off of Amazon. And I don't know, they come like at 200 or 250 millimeter sizes already cut. I'm sure that's not a good price, but I didn't really care because I was only buying one or two for the prototypes. Oh yeah, okay. Clarification for the winner. We're not charging you shipping. Like the shipping, everything is included. But I know that sometimes some countries require that you pay import taxes on things that come into the country. That's what I meant. But yeah, we're paying the shipping and everything. Do you really use this thing day by day without any issues? So I don't use this one at my studio most of the time. This stream is not running on the YoloBox yet. I'm going to switch over to that soon though. I'll show you today. I'll show you the actual stream from it. But I have been using it whenever I'm going out somewhere. So if I'm going out to an event, or if I'm traveling and I don't want to bring an ATEM with all the cables required and everything, like this thing can run off of battery, which is really nice, and the battery lasts a very long time. And I'll plug in a camera or I'll bring a wireless transmitter too, and attach that to the stand. Don't think I have that one. Oh, I forgot to put that within arm's reach. But just like the Hollyland is attached to this little cold shoe, there's a cold shoe bracket on the back, so you can attach stuff to it. And I'll slip in the wireless transmitter there. And yeah, I've used it on a bunch of events now. And whenever I'm out and about, I want that color showing. There we go. And no, I haven't really had any issues. There's always going to be little minor things here and there, like the chat overlay bug that was annoying, but that got fixed. No, it's been doing well. Most of the time, I actually am just using this thing off of its own battery because the battery does last a long time. In fact, I'm at, let's see, I'll just take out the power for fun. So I'm gonna not be able to get back to that, am I? Oh well. So this is running off battery right now. We're at 93% right now, and we'll just see how it does throughout the rest of the stream. Please hook it up to the cell phone card. I have done that in the past. I don't think I have my SIM tool nearby to do that right now. There's a little SIM slot down here. You can pop in a SIM card from a phone, and I have before taken my cell phone's SIM card and popped it into the YoloBox, and it gets on LTE, and it does just fine. Is it reliable? It's interesting how it will hold up to rough conditions. Yeah, I won't claim to have used it in rough conditions before. I've been using it in, when I'm in, when I'm, traveling, I set it up inside a space in a venue that I'm doing an event at or something. I did use the original one at that smoke live stream when Portland was on fire, which was kind of fun. That was back in, last year? Yeah, here's the video. This is what it looked like in Portland. You couldn't even see across the river. It was just full of smoke. And this was from the original YoloBox. That was September, over a year ago now. That was when we did another giveaway. But it was cool. That was, let me see if I have a thumbnail or a picture of the rig. This was a mask that was mostly so I could breathe. Here we go. So that's what the rig looked like. And I had it on a tripod. I had it with my Sony camera. And I had a light because the air was so yellow that everything just looked yellow unless I had a good light here. And a wireless receiver because the camera that you're looking at that's showing you this picture was my wireless rig. Which I think, oh, here's another picture of it. I think somewhere I showed the wireless rig. That was showing around the back of it. Oh yeah, I did bring a battery backup for all the other stuff. Where is, here it is. That's the little handheld rig I was using. It was I forgot, it was the RX0 because I didn't have the ZVE10 yet, which is what I've been using more recently. But yeah, it worked fine for that. Yeah. Chris says it's time to do another outdoor live stream. I agree. I think it is time. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I just need to find somewhere interesting to go. Aperture MC on the YoloBox rig. That was the Aperture MC. Yeah, that was. That one worked fine. Seemed like it was bright enough to just give a little bit of a boost to my light, and it worked. One of the other ones I used more recently is the Nanlite Pavo tube, the short one, little 6C. And that thing is great too. That's the long tube one, which is kind of fun. Alex says, have you seen the new DJI wireless microphone? I did. It looks very similar to the Hollyland and the Rode Wireless Go 2. Seems like the same concept. It's not shipping yet, and I didn't buy one. I don't know if I will. It looks interesting. I think, I don't know if it has enough additional cool features to like make me be interested in it compared to the Hollyland or the Rode, but it does look good. Okay, here are a couple more questions. Oh, South Coast Picks. I just received my YoloBox Pro yesterday. Bought it after watching your videos. Cool. I've noticed noise when plugging in a Rodecaster Pro through line in. Do you know of a fix? I have a feeling that's a ground loop issue, which is annoying to fix. And it depends on how things are wired up. So if it's like a buzz, then that happens when things are plugged into too many things, and it makes like a ground loop issue. You can try to you can either try plugging things into different outlets so that it doesn't cause the issue. You can also try to run one of the devices off battery power, so that if you don't wire it in, then that can that will make it so that it doesn't cause that loop. The other way to solve it is with the little isolator dongles. They're very cheap. It basically means it's you plug in the audio cable on both ends, and then it acts as a little isolator so that there is no electrical connection between the two, and that will eliminate the hum as well. So a couple different options for you to try. I don't have the Rodecaster, so I haven't plugged it into this particular device, but I've had the similar issues with other kinds of devices, not even the YoloBox, also the ATEM and other stuff. Will you handle 3 to 4 cameras on it, or someone has to help? I normally just do all my streams by myself. I don't usually have people who are helping me with the streams. So I've done, 3 or 4 cameras. I've got a bunch of cameras today, but with the YoloBox, for those streams, I've usually just had 2 cameras, and I don't know if I've actually plugged in 3 actual sources to the YoloBox Pro now that I think about it. It's got 3 inputs, but I feel like I've only ever plugged in 2 things. Like right now, I've got just the 2 cameras. Okay. Oh yeah, live streaming on a bike would be interesting. It sure would. I have done that before. I haven't put the YoloBox on a bike yet, like while it's running. The stream I did in the smoke, I took everything there on my bike, but it was all packed up until I set it up there. The one I did actually from my bike was just a GoPro streaming through my phone's connection to my studio. And it worked pretty well. Although I've got some new tricks to try next time I want to do that. For example, this little thing, which I can also show you today, which is pretty cool. What about tech support? Does it even exist? Yeah, they do. They do have a whole support team, and they do answer questions. So that is, I have a contact there who I talk to, but like their support is also totally responsive. When will we know if we win the stand? I will do the drawing on Sunday during my normal live stream time. So it'll be this time in 2 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Saturday, Sunday. Yes. Yeah, Bailey says tech support is really good. Okay, here's a question. What are some perceived disadvantages or aspects that fall short of expectation with the YoloBox Pro? Very good question. So if you are used to the sort of building a rig out of an ATEM and around an ATEM switcher, it's going to feel very, very different. So it is not the same kind of system at all. And with the ATEM, you have to, it doesn't have any screen, first of all. So you have to plug in a monitor before you can see anything. There are a lot of physical buttons here, which there are not on the YoloBox. That's all screen buttons. But honestly, I don't use most of the physical buttons anyway when I'm using the ATEM. I'm just using I'm using like what I'm doing right now is controlling this from an iPad or the Stream Deck. If you're used to the ATEM style, this may not be a good like one-to-one replacement for you though, because this is much more all-in-one. Everything's here, all on screen. It is a basically like a fancy Android device that has HDMI ports that most of the time Android devices don't have. But yeah, this is like you plug in a camera, and then you go live, and you don't need anything else. You don't even need a computer. The ATEM, you're going to have a computer and all sorts of other stuff to make it work. So the disadvantage being of this is if you, clarification on this. Yeah. Assume this is my first foray into hardware like this. Yeah. If you prefer the method of building up a kit piece by piece and sort of DIYing the different parts and having, one system over here that does graphics that feeds in the cable. If you like that kind of thing, you probably won't like this because this does try to have everything bundled into the device. And for me, I actually like both things in different situations, which is why you don't see me using the YoloBox in this studio. Because when I am inside here and I have access to, you know, I can leave things wired up. Like here, I'll show you a little bit of what's in the room. I'll make that camera a little wider. Like I've got, you know, I've got my screen over there. I've got the teleprompter camera. I've got the computer screen. I've got all this stuff around me that's more or less fixed position. And I like that when I am in this studio. And that's why I don't end up using this for when I'm doing a show in here. When I'm traveling and I'm not in this studio, I really don't like bringing all this stuff. I don't want to have to bring 3 screens and all the different power adapters and cables to make it work, which is why I then end up using the YoloBox when I'm traveling. So I think that's, for me, that's the big difference between the two, is that I think of the YoloBox as the mobile streaming rig. It's how you do, it's super quick to set up a remote gig and just like not have to bring a bunch of stuff. Last week during the live stream, I showed the difference between the kit, the gear required on a table for using a YoloBox compared to an ATEM on the exact same table the day before for a different event, and it was really interesting. Connor says the ATEM Mini Pro can be converted to a more powerful outdoor solution. It absolutely can. I'm not saying you can't use the ATEM Mini outside. What I am saying is that the amount of extra things you have to take in order to use the ATEM Mini outside is more than I am willing to carry around when I'm traveling. So, yeah, the ATEM seems hard to produce outdoors, but this is all in one. That is essentially how I think about it. Okay. Other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to get back to demos because we've got some more things to look at. Yeah. Okay. So, other new feature that has just been added that is very cool, and the is the countdown feature. So let me take a look. Let me show you the screen so you can actually see what's going on here. If you go and tap add overlay, there's a new type of overlay, and it is called the countdown timer. And this just launched. So you have 2 styles. I think they're working on adding more styles, so keep an eye on that. But there's 2 styles right now. You can go and add a timer, and you can actually choose your colors too, which is cool. So let's change the inner ring color to something that's more my brand. We'll do that. And then let's see, outer ring color. We can do that one. It's pretty close. Yeah, there we go. And timer color, I think I'll keep it white. Oops. Let's go white. And then instead of the show starts, we can change that text. So let's just say starting soon. Starting soon. Okay. And then let's see. Oops, that was not the button I wanted to press. Starting soon. Text font. Bunch of cool fonts to choose from. So we can do, let's see, what is a good font for me? Oh, that's a cool little handwriting one. I think I want to use, PT Sans. Okay, great. And then text font for the top, timer font. Oh, you can change that separately. That's cool. We'll do that same font and then choose the size. We can make it small or large. So oh, that's kind of cool too. I'll make it mostly full screen. Starting soon. Okay, done. Now we've got the timer created. So what I would do for running a stream is set up like a title card here, and that would be what I would have before the show starts. And then the put the timer up, and you can see how it like also has like a translucent black background, so it covers up whatever graphic is on top. So when you tap it, it'll start the countdown, and then there isn't any way to like speed ahead. You can't speed through. It's just that it'll do the full 10-minute countdown. And then when you are ready to go live, you would remove it from the screen and remove that, and then you are live. So we can take a look at what that would actually look like. Let me go, let's change this to like, let's change the time to like 15 seconds so that I don't have to wait 10 minutes. 15 seconds. Now we got a 15-second timer, and it's ready to go. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stream from my YoloBox into my ATEM so you can see it. So it'll be the actual stream. I'm going to go live, and yep, okay. So I see it over here in the multi-view. The multi-view looks like this. So table main camera, that's this main camera I'm talking to you from. 6 RTMP. Well, I'm pointing at both when I do that, and that's not helpful. The camera 6 is the RTMP feed from the YoloBox. So I need to give you some audio. Let's go set my line in, and now we should be, now we're getting audio up there. So when I switch to my ATEM to the RTMP, this is the program input is now the actual feed from the ATEM. That's what you're, or from the YoloBox. That's what you're actually seeing. So I'm going to, okay, switch my audio. So now you're also hearing me from the microphone, the Hollyland microphone plugged into the ATEM. This is the actual YoloBox stream. So if, for example, I can, on the YoloBox, switch cameras, and now you're seeing me switching live on the YoloBox. And if I, for example, put up a graphic, you'll see it actually show up on the stream. So this is the actual stream from the YoloBox now, which means I can now put up my title graphic, and I'll switch back to my main camera so that I can switch to, when I remove the title graphic, you'll see me. Starting the timer, and I'm going to start the show. Obviously, my audio is hot, so I would not actually be talking live, but I'm going to start the show, and then I'm going to remove the 2 graphics, and I'll come back on the screen. So it removed itself, and then I would cut to live. So now we're live from the YoloBox. Okay, I'll switch back to the other audio. And back to that camera. Now we're back on the ATEM, and things are probably looking more or less sounding better, hopefully. Bailey says the audio sounds bad from the Hollyland. I don't know. I was testing. It sounds different. I don't know if I would say bad. But was anybody else think the audio from the Hollyland sounded bad? I am using this little lav mic on it, not the built-in one. I don't actually remember what lav this is. That was cool. Yeah, that was fun. It switched. Really bad audio, says Connor. Okay, that's weird. I swear it sounded fine when I was testing it. What is different about it? I'm gonna put on my headphones. This is the overhead, and then let's switch to the Hollyland. Testing. Switch over to that so that I'm not on delay. It's a little, I guess, tinnier. Ooh, it's really hard to listen to myself on a half-second delay. Bad might be the wrong term. Might be just blown out. Yeah, I'm hearing a little clipping, actually, now that you mention it. I think I wasn't talking this loud when I was first testing. Let's turn the gain down a little bit. Let's take it down to about 70. 500 hertz to 2 kilohertz and nothing else. That could be, yep. Less rich, tinny. Room tone, tinny, clipped. I don't know which part of the signal chain that is. Let's try, actually. I'm going to unplug the little lav mic. So this is now 2 feet away from this thing, but I'll hold this back up. Is this any better? Is this sound? I can't actually remember what the other one sounded like, especially because I'm hearing myself on a delay. But we'll just leave that there. This maybe sounds better, actually. So the answer is whatever this little lav I was using is not good. I don't actually know what this one says. Take the gain down a bit. I was trying to make it more or less the same as the room one, but yeah. Oh my god, that's so distracting. Okay. Anyway, this is a little better. More of the lower register frequencies. Okay. Clicking is bad. I don't hear clicking. Does anybody else hear clicking? I was listening to the audio through my headphones, which is hearing the that was the actual output from the YoloBox. The YoloBox is sending RTMP to my studio, and that's what I was then listening to. So I don't hear any clicking. Does anybody else hear clicking? Okay. Where else? Where was I? No clicking. I don't hear clicking. Nope, no clicks. Okay. Strange. I don't know what would be causing one person to hear clicking then. One thing that I think is interesting about this is what you're seeing now is the RTMP feed from the YoloBox into my studio, and this is going into the Magewell, which I believe I linked to below, the Magewell ProConvert, which, do I have a link? Nope, apparently I did not make myself a link. Good job. This thing is growing on me. It's not cheap, but it is very good. So let me go grab this. Where is the link? Magewell ProConvert. Cool. So the Magewell is what the thing is streaming to, and on my I want to show you my computer screen now. No, I don't. There's too many stream keys there. I think I talked about this actually last week on the stream, so you can go back to that stream and learn more about it. But it's a cool little RTMP server, and we were comparing the latency of streaming from a GH5 2 directly to that ProConvert, and it was surprisingly low. And what I'm noticing now is that the latency on the YoloBox is also surprisingly low. So if I, for example, show you the multi-view again, see how the box says RTMP, that's red. That means that's what you're looking at on the program, which is up in the top right corner. And the camera is actually the coming in on that input 3. And look at the latency. It's like really good considering this is RTMP. So you're listening to and looking at the RTMP version, which is a little bit behind the live camera, but not by much, which is like shocking how good
how fast that is. And I think that's mostly the Magewell's doing. It's not adding a lot of buffer to it's just like whatever it gets in, it puts right back out the HDMI port. So I can stream from the YoloBox to that device to bring it into the studio, and I can also stream to it from other cameras like this. Okay, but anyway, let me go and switch back to the indoor rig.
And now we're back on the better microphone. And off of the YoloBox stream. Okay. Okay, I see some other questions coming in. Monk wants me to do a cell phone streaming demo. We'll see if it's gonna take a while to set that up, so we'll see if I can get around to that. Thanks, Brendan. Thanks for the thanks. Can you show more of the graphics overlay stuff on the YoloBox? Okay, so yeah, I just showed the countdown timer, and we can also take a look at some of the other overlays. So there's this overlay section for adding images, lower thirds, or countdown timer now. For lower thirds, you get these kind of templates, rolling caption as well. So I can do like, let's see, title is the one in the white. So I can do Aaron PK.TV / YoloBox. Enter the giveaway here, exclamation point. Okay, and then we'll change the font again to PT Sans, change the subtitle font to PT Sans, and then we'll leave the colors like they are. I think those are perfectly fine. Actually, no, I'm going to change that one to my teal again. Nicer. And then you can choose where you want it. You just drag it around. I want it kind of down there. And then, oh, you can even resize it. Oh, I spelled that wrong. That's not good. Enter the giveaway here. And save that. And now when I'm looking at all the different things on the screen, I can now turn them all on and off, right? I can turn on that lower third, which shows up on the program now until you tap it off. You can also add graphics. So you can add stuff from the SD card. There's a little SD card plugged into the bottom here. And I've got, for example, channel art background. That way I can like use it for the background of picture in pictures, or we'll do the light background. That one I do want full screen, but I could shrink it down, but that's going to be a background, so I want that to be full screen. And now I can use that in other things. So when we were doing the green screen, for example, it's not going to key because I don't have my green screen up, but you can choose a background image to use for your green screen. But I can also use it in when I go here and do a side-by-side. I can have that one next to that one, and then background image, I'll make it the dark version. And now I've got a little layout here. I can choose how big I want these as well. Kind of. Oops. Oh no, why is it stuck? There we go. Feature requests for YoloBox though. What I really want is I want to be able to change the two sizes of these independently. I want to make one bigger than the other, for example, when I'm doing slides. So if I had a PowerPoint deck in one, I want that to be large. Actually, basically what I want is I want to make this layout. And I want like one screen that is, I want my computer screen to be large, and I want my camera to be cropped side to side. And you can't do that on the YoloBox right now, which is the one problem. So I've got that feature request in there. They say it's easy, so hopefully it comes out soon. But yeah, once that's created, now it shows up like a camera angle, and I can now switch to a side-by-side view. or switch back to there. So we've got we've got images, we've got lower thirds, we've got countdown timer. What else? How many screens can you add? Good question. So there are 3 HDMI inputs. So you can add 3 inputs into this. So I've got 2 cameras plugged in right now. Oh, how many screens can you add on the split screen? So yeah, there's 3 HDMI sources. You can also add video sources that are on the SD card. So if you make pre-recorded videos, you can actually you can load them onto the SD card and then bring them into the YoloBox. And again, they show up like a video source. Then when you're doing these like side-by-sides, you get either a side-by-side, a split, or picture-in-picture. So 2 is the answer. So for picture-in-picture, you choose what do you want the big one to be. Like I want the big one to be that one, and then I want let's say the SD card video to be the small one. And then you can choose where it is and how big it is. What is aspect ratio? Oh, that's interesting. That's kind of cool. That's new. I haven't seen that before. I can actually make it show up. It is doing the crop thing that I want it to do. So I can like make it show up square and then scale it. And then when I go and switch to that, now it's playing the SD card video. It should be playing the SD card video. There it goes. Yeah, so now it's playing in the picture-in-picture. Cool. Okay, so that is the deal there. Uh-oh. The secret code is not working. What did I do? I was so proud of myself for that secret code. What did I do? Did I copy it wrong when I made that? Oh no. I'm gonna have to fix it. But it looks like people did figure out where it is, where it's hiding. Oh man. No, it looks right. Double check that they are zeros and not O's. That's the only hint I will give you. If you're hand copying it, you may have typed O's, but they should be zeros. It's a letter and then a bunch of numbers. It works fine. It's hard to see with the naked eye. Nice. Good. The code worked. I had to put it in twice. Okay, good. I'm glad I didn't totally mess that up. Okay. And Jesse says it worked as well. Good, good, good. Okay, other questions about the YoloBox. These are good. Yeah, Keith says we saw the RTMP latency in the multi-view. Yeah, it's super brief for some reason. I don't really understand why. Oh, Denise says when I left my entry screen open too long, it had an error. Interesting. Okay. Bailey says, might be a rookie question. How do you get a link for a photo, just like a Google Drive link or something else? However you want. So like post it on Twitter, put it on Instagram, put it on Flickr, put it on Google Drive is fine, but it's more fun if you share it with other people too. But just, yeah, upload a photo somewhere. Eddie says, is that your personal RTMP? How can I set one up? It is. So what I'm doing is streaming from... So you can see all the different platforms I've got added, and I'm streaming to one I've added called Studio. What you do is you go in here and you say, make a new RTMP stream, and then it will email you a link to your email address, and then you go open up your computer, and you type in the details there, and then it saves it back into the YoloBox. So I'm streaming to the RTMP for my studio, and what that is it's the Magewell ProConvert that I've set up in my rack, and I've done port forwarding from my router. So my router is forwarding one of the ports to the Magewell device, and that's plugged into input 6 on the ATEM or on the YoloBox. No, the ATEM. Oh my god, too many devices. And that's how I'm getting a stream from outside the network into the studio. I can stream from other things to that, which I saw there was a good, there's some other questions about that too. Can you use the DJI Osmo Pocket on the ATEM using RTMP? Yeah, so I have streamed from other devices to my little Magewell now. And I don't have the Pocket 2 with me, but I do have this one, which is another cool thing. This is the DJI Action 2, which I believe I have a link to down below. I've been using this for traveling because this is a cool little way to get B-roll. It's actually 2 parts. They come apart. This is the camera. This has internal memory only. So it's got 32 gigs of internal memory. So there's no slots, there's no ports. It's just the little electrical connections for the base here. And one of the reasons I like this so much is that it's tiny. Like I can hide it in my hand, right? So I can just shove it in my pocket, have it out here, and then if you want to just quickly record some B-roll, if you hold down the power button for like 2 seconds, it'll turn on and start recording. And now, boom, it's just recording. So, oops, I can't focus that close. There we go. So it's recording now, and it's just going. And as soon as I press the off button, it'll stop, and then it'll shut down. And basically, because of that, like I can put it in my pocket, I can pull it out, feel the button, turn it on, it starts recording. It's so good for just like, I'm out traveling and I want to quickly grab a shot of something. It's honestly easier than my phone. It's easier to use than my phone. But here's the cool part about this little thing. I should have dropped the link in the chat so I can find this timestamp again. Somewhere I do have the link in the description, but it is, here it is. I'm gonna drop it in the chat now. DJI Action 2. One of the other cool things about this camera is that it does do RTMP streaming from it. So if I, okay, so the little bottom piece is like a little screen, and all it is it attaches to the main part. It's got electrical connections. It's got a little magnet. It latches in, very satisfying click. And then it gives you the front screen. So now if I turn it on, it'll boot up here. Screen is locked. Cool, swipe it. It also has a battery here, so it gives more power to this thing. I actually streamed from this to my Magewell device for like an hour and a half, and the battery is only down to like 85%, which is amazing. So what you can do here is, let me see if I can remember how this works. There's a little settings icon, and then if you go to, let's see, probably have to do wireless connection first. Oh no, that's settings for the wireless connection. There's the password for the camera. Back to somewhere in here is there we go. Continue last live stream. Oh, last live stream info expired. Okay, that's good to know. I haven't tried that before. What you have to do first is use the stupid app and connect from the app to the camera to load in settings. So I can go load up the DJI Mimo app. Oh, I don't have my Apple TV connected to show you that. We can connect that really quick. The the, what am I doing? Rerouting my studio. I don't need to show you my desk. I do need to show you my Apple TV. So we're going to go change what's in, here, I'll show you what I'm doing this way. Change what's in the input 4 to the Apple TV, and then there it is. And now I can do screen mirroring to Studio. And sure enough, now you can see my phone screen. Okay, DJI device found. Oh, is it going to let me AirPlay while being connected to the camera? It might not. Because it's going to want to hop over to the Wi-Fi. DJI Action. We'll see if that works. I don't think I have a... I do have an HDMI. Yeah, it's going to disconnect the AirPlay. Okay, so instead, we're going to grab this little cable, connect my phone that way, and then rewire the studio again to be not the Apple TV, but it's going to be, what is that one? I think it's G. Oops, no, I think it's H? Nope. F? Nope. J? Nope. Where is it? That's weird. Is this not plugged in? It's not plugged in. That's the problem. The other end of the cable needs to be plugged into something. It's going into H. There's my phone. Okay. Now I can do that. I want to show my face also. Do I have an upstream key? Sorry for this. We're going to do upstream key 2. Here, I can show you what I'm doing. Upstream key 2, we're going to use the main camera. We're going to DVE, main camera, table camera. And there it is. We can mask. We don't need to mask the top or the bottom, but we do want to mask left and right. And then I can scoot it, shrink it, and I can move it. Oh, what a mess. We can go farther, cropping. Great. Okay, now I can go even smaller. And now, when this is on, I can switch back to my phone, and now you can see me. Okay. So what I wanted to show you was connecting to the camera. Hopefully this connects now that I'm not on AirPlay. Join that network, please. And come on, I believe in you. There we go. All right. So that is the camera, and my phone is rotated. So what I can do here is go to the live stream setting and now add in custom RTMP. Which it should let me enter, hopefully let me enter a stream key. Yeah. And connected to the Wi-Fi, it's connected to my, it's got my studio RTMP key in there, live stream in progress. Okay, so now it is actually streaming. In fact, streaming to my ATEM or my Magewell again. So one of the cool things about this Magewell converter is, I don't want to show you this tab, but the think it was that one. So you can actually have multiple, like essentially stream keys configured in the Magewell and tell it which one to be receiving from. So I've just changed from showing the YoloBox stream. It's actually receiving 2 streams now. It's receiving a stream from the YoloBox and receiving a stream from this camera. So the RTMP input into my ATEM is now this camera. Do I have a way to show you that audio? Yes, I do. So if I switch over to this camera, this audio probably sounds like a disaster because it's from the built-in mic on this camera. Also, wow, the exposure. I don't think this thing is expecting to be used in studio lighting. Do I have any exposure settings on it? It works great outdoors when you have outside light. Anyway, this is the actual stream coming from the little Action 2 directly into my Magewell again, which is a pretty cool little thing. And it means that like all I need is actually just this camera. This is all I'm holding. Audio is delayed now, but this is what I'm holding, streaming from, all wireless. It'll run for like a couple hours, and this is the stream coming off of it into my studio that I'm now routing back up to YouTube. So I'm planning on doing this kind of thing for a stream in the future when I'm again back and traveling. Question: can you add a microphone to the Action 2? You can. The only way to add a microphone to the Action 2 is USB. But conveniently, do I have a cable? Here. No, I don't have the right cable here. I think it's down. It's down here. So you have to plug in a USB microphone, but then you can get external audio. Yeah, here we go. So I've got this little thing, which I love these little short microphones. And if I take the Rode Wireless Go, and because again, the Model 2 of this is a USB microphone, so I can plug one end into the microphone, and the other end into the microphone capsule turned on. This one on my shirt. And then if I plug this into the Action 2, it should switch over. So let me do. Okay, and now this is the audio from the Rode. I have not tested levels. I hope it sounds okay. You're gonna have to let me know if this sounds okay. The picture is definitely a little bit overexposed, but I think this thing is not meant to be used in studio lighting. You need a third hand or a production assistant. Agreed. There is a DJI wireless mic for the Action 2 also. Yeah, it's a USB microphone. Low but sounds good. I don't. Okay, yeah, this thing is set to 0, so it should be sending the full signal to the Action 2. And I don't think there's any settings on the Action 2 for, at least not while I'm streaming. That's probably what's going on. Anyway, cool little thing. So wireless microphone. This is a little bit of a mess. Oh, you know what would be a good microphone to use for this? This is awkward. The Comica microphone that like has the little USB port would go right into the side nicely. That would be cool. That'd be cool. But yeah, this is you know what's funny? The microphone is bigger than the camera. That's not normal. The Rode is actually larger than the Action camera module. Cool though. Now, the RTMP delay from this is a lot worse than from the YoloBox, which is interesting. Back to that camera. Back to that audio. Andy says, conveniently, they now sell their own version of the Wireless Go, which plugs directly in with no dongle. There you go. The Wireless Go 2 has low volume when used by USB-C. Interesting. Cool. Yep. This thing is still live. Let me stop that. Oh yeah. So I mentioned the app. Turn off. The app for configuring the Action is, how do I stop? Stop streaming. Oh, that's recording. Do I have to stop streaming from the phone? There we go. Okay, there's a little menu now. What I wanted to show you was I don't want to have to use an app all the time. So now that I've got this configured, and apparently it expires, I don't know what the interval is. Now that it's configured, I can go back into the menu and there is a button here called Continue Last Live Stream. And then I can actually go and start now. So I don't need the phone, and it is streaming. It'll just start streaming. It'll get on the Wi-Fi and start streaming, and now I can see it in the multi-view. So that is pretty cool, that once it's configured, you don't need the phone anymore, because I don't like having to start these streams from the phone. It's one of the big differences with the GoPro, is that the GoPro, I think it actually runs the stream through the phone, which is even worse. But that camera gets on the Wi-Fi itself and streams directly. What's the RTMP device called? That is the Magewell ProConvert, which is this one, Magewell ProConvert. Make sure that's the right link. Yeah. So that's what I was using for that. Magewell doesn't need an RTMP server. Yeah, exactly. So that's one of the cool things about that particular device. It's one of the only ones I've found that is its own RTMP server. And most of the time, these other things that are claiming to be able to pull RTMP feeds on the over the network, they require that you're actually pulling them from some other RTMP server. So, yep, that is the cool thing about that device. I also just bought the NDI version of it, so I have two now, and because I want to be able to experiment with NDI stuff as well, but also because I want to see about what I can do if I can actually have two remote feeds into the studio. Keith, thanks. You rocked that demo Action 2 microphone. Sorry, I didn't plan that ahead of time to check the audio levels. How is the battery on the YoloBox doing? Good question. It is at 65%, and it's now been streaming this whole time, and playing this SD card video. So that's pretty good. How long have we been going since it's been 36 minutes. That's what it says, of live, and it was on before that. So that's cool. That's good. Oh, it's still streaming to my multi-view, but the Magewell is not active on that. So if I go switch back on the Magewell to that other stream key, then it shows up on the RTMP, which is super cool and very low latency again. Yeah. Okay. What else? Other questions? Kirsten says, I have an iPhone and iPad and want to use them as sources for the YoloBox Pro. What's the best way to get clean HDMI? Any disadvantages using them versus real cameras? Affordable real camera for HDMI source. Fantastic questions. Okay, a bunch of questions in there. Best way to clean HDMI from the iPhone and the iPad. So they will do clean HDMI from a couple of different camera apps if you plug them in over HDMI or if you do AirPlay sharing. So I was just plugging in an HDMI cable with a little lightning dongle. The USB-C dongle works fine also. And you plug that into the iPhone, and then it'll look like it's just mirroring your screen. And if you open certain apps, they will be aware that there's an external screen plugged in, and then they will do a clean HDMI out. There's a bunch of them that do this. There's actually a list on the forum, and I've been collecting a bunch of them there. So let me just drop that link in here so you can find it. iOS apps with clean HDMI out. And that forum links to a bunch of different apps. The one that I use the most for whatever reason, probably just because it's the one that's the visible on my home screen, is called Filmic Pro. And it works both with HDMI and over AirPlay. So that's the first part of your question. Are there any disadvantages to using these versus real cameras? And then what are affordable real cameras? So I would say the new iPhones, the cameras have gotten really good, and they're like they're good cameras now. Yeah, I can show you what it looks like because I have mine plugged in. And let me plug in my phone again and show you what it looks like while that's wired up. So Filmic Pro, just launch the app and it shows up on in the ATEM. So here's the camera from my iPhone over the wired connection. Ooh, it's a little choppy. I don't know why it's like skipping. It doesn't look like that on my phone screen, which is interesting. So anyway, this is what I am looking at, and this is the wide or normal, like default angle. This iPhone has the other lenses, so I can do like the super wide angle lens or the telephoto. Turn this around and you can look at me through this camera. This is not a good picture, but if you adjust the exposure, it'll look better. So if I go and change, where is it? Yeah, here we go. Tone that down a bit. That's looking a little better. A little less blown out. It's quite a bit different than the picture from a real camera, this being a real camera, but it's decent. And one of the advantages of this is that you probably already have a phone and you're carrying a camera around all the time. The downside, though, is that I guess like it's a very expensive camera because these phones are not cheap, and it might make more sense to get a dedicated camera that you don't need to worry about, like, I don't know, not using all the features of, because this is a phone, so it does a lot of stuff. And yeah, you can get much better pictures from real cameras, like hands down. So the camera that you're looking at me on right now is the Blackmagic Pocket 4K with the 12 to 35 millimeter lens. So it's not a cheap setup, but actually it was about the same price as a phone, which is a little bit weird to say. And you can get, even better lenses. You can get much better low light performance. There's a lot of advantages to having real cameras. You just will get better pictures. But the phone is convenient. You're probably already carrying it. And the other nice thing about the phone is that you can make it wireless because, again, if you AirPlay your phone out to the Apple TV, it works the same way as if it was plugged in. So I can just go and AirPlay my phone screen, and I should see it pop up. Oh, I have to reroute my matrix again to the Apple TV, and now got my phone screen. And now if I go and load up Filmic Pro, again, same thing. This camera is now wireless, and I can switch to this camera. And now there might be a little bit of a delay on the picture. Actually, no, it's looking pretty good. So this is now wireless camera, just with, I'm just holding it and it's all over Wi-Fi. So that is an advantage of this thing. So different things to consider. As far as affordable real cameras, I think, so again, it depends on what you're looking for. The ZV-1, I like this camera a lot. It's very small, very compact. Battery is not fantastic, but you can get a little battery pack for it. If you are going to put it on a tripod, you are almost certainly going to want this little base plate. Which way does it go? This way. because the one flaw with this camera, oh, get out of there. Oh my gosh, I need a screwdriver now. The flaw with this camera is that the battery door is over the tripod screw. So you can't have the battery door open for if you're going to use it. So that's what this does. It means you can open the battery door enough. Once it's actually in there, you can open the battery door and attach it to a tripod. This is a pretty good camera. Really good autofocus. Very easy to use. The other good option is the one that I recommend all the time, the Lumix G7, because it's cheaper than the even cheaper than the ZV-1. Lumix G7 is not good autofocus, but it is the camera. It is this one. So the one that you're looking at now, you can see it like in my main shot. It's this thing. I do have a more expensive lens than the kit lens on it, but that's the picture you're getting through the Lumix G7. I like that camera because you can sometimes find them used for like $300, which is fantastic price for that. Link to the bracket. Good question. Oh, it fell out of the description. It used to be in there. Yeah, let me go add that. I've gone through several of these brackets, and this one is the one that I like the best. Sony ZV-1 base bracket. There you go. That is in the chat. Cool. All right, other questions. Just a reminder, if you do have a question, to put the letter Q in the front. Looks like some problems with the secret code still. It says, sorry, something went wrong. Oh, but then he figured it out. It worked in Safari and failed on Chrome. That's weird. I've done it. I've tested it in Chrome. That's super weird. Got my G7 secondhand, but unused with 2 lenses and an SD card for $100. That's a fantastic price. Good job. I'm jealous. I want one for $100. I've been buying up a bunch of them, so I have several of them around here now. Which other cameras would you recommend that natively do RTMP? Last week you demoed a camera that you would take when doing mobile streaming. Yeah, there's only a couple that have native RTMP right now. The Action 2, I've been very pleasantly surprised with. The DJI Pocket 2 also does native RTMP. That's one with the gimbal head. The Lumix GH5 II, the new one, does do native RTMP, as does their box camera, which is a totally different kind of camera. I wanted this one because it has a screen. The box camera is really good for a studio, but I wouldn't take it out with me for like mobile stuff. This is also just a good camera. Other cameras, the thing to look out for is sometimes they say they have RTMP, but then they require that it's connected to the phone. And I don't want the stream to have to run through the phone. So it's sometimes hard to find those. I'm going to try to do like actually document all this so that there's better information out there, because yeah, I'm gonna have to do that as like a separate project. Just listing out all of the different RTMP cameras that claim to be RTMP cameras that are actually sending through the phone. Oh, here's another good one. The Canon M50 Mark II has RTMP. That's awesome. Okay, good to know. I haven't touched Canon cameras in ages. Thank you for that. That's super cool. Will it work with the GoPro? Will what work with the GoPro? So the GoPro is one of those that it says it does RTMP, but it pushes the video stream through the phone, so the phone has to be on the whole time. And that's why I did the bike stream on. And I didn't like it. It was not as easy to set up or easy to maintain. I was not happy. I would definitely use the Action 2 over the GoPro for that. Jesse says the Hollyland Mars 300 Pro wireless enhance is on sale for Black Friday. Would it be a good addition for a live stream studio? Yeah, it would. Is that one I didn't realize that one was on sale too. The the Hollyland 300 Pro. So there's, oh, the other confusing thing about this one is there was a, they have a new model out, it looks like. So there's, the one that they sent me a while ago is this one without the little antennas. And I actually really like that because it means it packs down smaller, but apparently that's discontinued. And the new Hollyland 300 Pro is, does have antennas. And I'm really curious about why they added it. They must have had performance issues with the ones without antennas, I guess. But yeah, this is a good device. And one of the nice things about this one in particular, compared to some of their other ones, is it has the loop out. So essentially what you do with that, let me grab this link so I can timestamp this. What you do with a loop out is here, Hollyland 300 Pro. Here we go. 300 Hollyland 300 Pro new version. Okay, so that's that link, so I can get back to this timestamp later. The nice thing about this one compared to some of the other Hollyland ones even is the loop out. So what I primarily use that for is, I don't think they have a diagram here. If you want to use it for doing streams with like a presenter on a stage, it makes a lot of sense to have your camera set up at the back of the room because you want like a shot of the wide room. Plus also you don't want a camera up at the front row because that would just look bad for everybody else who's there. And as soon as your camera's in the back of the room, the person with their laptop's at the front of the room, and that's a long distance now. So you either have to run a really long cable or you have to do it wirelessly. So the nice thing about the loop out is you put the transmitter, do I have it? Where did they go? I thought I had one here. You put the transmitter up like at the podium and you plug their laptop into that, and then the output goes to the TV or projector. So like they're normally gonna have a way to plug in a laptop at the front of the room. So instead of plugging the laptop into the room, you plug in the pass-through from that transmitter. And you take the receiver in the back of the room, and now you've got a copy of their slides back where you need it, where you're mixing all your video. So you plug in that receiver into the YoloBox or the ATEM or whatever you're using for that, and it shows up as an HDMI input, and then you can do your side-by-side picture-in-picture stuff, mixing the video that way. And that is the really cool thing about the pass-through, the loop out or pass-through. They call it different companies call it different things, but that's a really good feature to use for that. So that's my tip for wireless HDMI. Other questions. Bailey says, I don't blame you for leaving Canon for live streaming. It is just really annoying and stupid. As mentioned last week, they leave clean HDMI to their cinema line. Oh, wow. 2 super chats in a row. Thank you. Looks like I've got a little chat overlay bug on my system. I appreciate it, Darren and Eric. Thanks a bunch. Oh, I like this. And it's saving me from having to watch college football all afternoon. Glad to have you watching Nerding Out on live streaming gear instead. And thank you, Darren, for the super chat as well. I appreciate it a lot. Houston Professional Photography says, how does this compare to the Atomos Ninja Video Switcher? I haven't tried that one yet. I am planning to hopefully give it a shot soon. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to save my comments till I've had a chance to actually play with it. But one of the big differences I do know is that the Atomos is more similar to like an ATEM Mini original setup because it doesn't actually do streaming built in. It does HDMI and USB out. So you would plug it into a computer the way that you would plug in the original ATEM Mini into a computer. The original one does not have the streaming buttons. So this only goes into a computer or other HDMI streaming device. The YoloBox does everything. It is everything built in. So it does actually push a stream out itself over the network. Over Ethernet, which is what I'm plugged into right now, or Wi-Fi, or plug in a phone SIM card, and it does it over LTE as well. Does the Hollyland cross-convert SDI to HDMI? Ooh, I'm like 90% sure it does. So there's one of the models, the 400S Pro, which is also on sale for Black Friday right now. That one, where did it go? I could have sworn I brought these here, but I guess not. I don't know where they are. They're somewhere around here. I'm like 90% sure it does. And now I can't remember whether or not that's actually true. If I had it, I could test it, but I don't know where it went. I'll have to get back to you on that one. Leave this, once this is done, leave a comment on the video and ask that again. Then I'll follow up in the comments. Is it possible to connect a MacBook running Pro Presenter or PowerPoint as a source into the YoloBox via HDMI to display lower thirds? Yes, it is. It is possible. So there are 3 inputs. I have 2 cameras plugged in and one is empty. You can plug in anything into that. For example, I could plug in my phone into that. And those are not the direction I thought they were. So I can plug in my phone into the YoloBox now and do graphics from that also. Obviously not the best example because I don't have any graphics apps on my phone, I don't think, but we should see it pop up as a source here in a second. And, oh, I can do Keynote. I can do graphics from Keynote from a phone. I have a document in here somewhere. Here we go. Why is it not showing up? I swear this worked. This may be a failed live demo. Oh, there it goes. Okay, great. So I've got like a keynote presentation in here, and if I hit play, it'll just start, showing the full picture there. So I can show you the slides. I can go through the slides there. So the trick though is if you want to do like lower thirds and not just full on presentation. Well, here, let me configure this to be like what I would do for a presentation. Let's get rid of the picture-in-picture and then go make a new picture-in-picture with slides as the full one and then me as the smaller one. So I can go, oh yeah, now I can do this. I can do vertical. That's what I want. This is good. I'm glad they added this one. So I can do like that kind of thing. And now if I cut to picture-in-picture, you will see my slides with my face in the corner. Now I can talk about, oh, this was the actual PowerPoint deck I used when I did that presentation about streaming that event, which was the one I packed up on my bike. And this was a couple of years ago now, and I'm so interested to see what it would be like to do this kind of event now that I've got such smaller gear. So this is an example of when I do actually bring the full kit with the ATEM, because I have so many, like, I have multiple cameras. I want to do, high quality recordings. I want to do, oops, that didn't work. I thought I could zoom in. But I don't know, like I might try doing events like this with the YoloBox now because it's just so much easier. This takes a long time to set up, a lot of gear. Even if I was doing it with the ATEM, it'd be a lot less gear now because the ATEM Mini Extreme does what several of these little devices are required to do. It's all possible with the ATEM Mini Extreme now. So I'm really curious. Anyway, this is the picture-in-picture feature of the YoloBox. So what we wanted to test was, can we do lower thirds? So for this, let's see if I can go make a new presentation, because I think what I'm going to have to do is I think I'm going to have to make a presentation with a green background and to be able to green screen it. So we're going to go basic, and then, oh yeah, I forgot you can add live video into Keynotes now, which is cool. Not relevant. What I want to do is, can I change the background color of my slides to be green? Where's my, I don't want themes, I just want settings. I can do this on a computer a lot easier, but okay, I might have to do this on the computer because this is ridiculous. I'm going to make this on my computer, and then we're going to do it. So I can load it into my phone after I make it on the computer. That's what I'm going to do. Live demos. Okay. So here's a Keynote file. There's the background. I'm going to make it green. That doesn't look quite green enough. I want like green. Okay. So there's green. And now I can do, let's make this blank, and then let's make a lower third on this. So let's do like a background is black. No, black's boring. Let's make it pink. Let's add text and just have my name and make that there. Maybe let's make that white. And then make it bigger. And then let's put my website down below and shrink that one. I wish I would stop making links. Okay. Shrink that one. And great. That is a wonderful lower third. Save this as lower third. We're going to put it in iCloud. And then it should be on my phone. Oh yeah, look at that. It's already on my phone. Fantastic. So if I just go to my phone, is showing it there. I can load it up. And yeah, oh, where is the YoloBox? That's the one. So when I go into play, that's what it looks like in the YoloBox. Now we need to green screen it. So I'm going to go back to main camera, and I'm going to tap on here, and we're going to do keying switch, and you can see it remove the background. And then, okay, here's the important part. To add a video background, finish this setup, go to add video source and select picture in picture and choose the Chroma key source as the subscreen. That's the trick. So we're going to go out of here, and you can see my HDMI 3 is now showing the transparent background. So we're going to remove this picture in picture. We don't need that. We need a new picture in picture, and the video source is the picture in picture. Video source is the main screen. I think that's what they said. Subscreen is the one with the green screen. See how it's not showing me the green background. And then we're going to scale it. Look at that. It's totally working. Okay, scale it full size and done. There we go. And now we go picture in picture, and there it is. That looks fine. Look at that. We totally did it. We made graphics in Keynote on a computer, loaded them into my phone, and playing the graphics from my phone over HDMI into the YoloBox. That is pretty cool. So that's what it looks like on my phone. Green background with the pink title. Regular just lightning cable out of the phone. Lightning to HDMI into the YoloBox, and the graphic shows up there. And just for good measure, I'll switch over to the RTMP feed.
And the audio, and this is the actual feed from the YoloBox streaming. This is what we're pushing to YouTube. So you're looking at the actual stream from the YoloBox now. That worked. That works pretty well.
Cool. Thanks, Keith. A plus. Yeah, that was how to do the transparent background on the YoloBox with graphics. Oh, and that would work regardless of, so I was doing that in Keynote because I don't have Pro Presenter, but the same concept would apply to Pro Presenter or any other graphics package. Basically, you need a green background in order to key out on the YoloBox. Oh, Rick, thank you. I have a 400S Pro. Yes, it does have SDI out with HDMI in. Okay, that's what I thought. Thanks for confirming. My hesitation was the some of the monitors don't do the conversion, so that's why I wasn't 100% sure. Thanks for confirming that, though. That's super good to know that the Hollyland does do that. YoloBox is very cool, and thanks, Kirsten. that was fun. Good little live demo. Okay. Other questions can we get to? What else do I want to show you? Oh my gosh, there's so many things to cover in this stream. Why does the multicam view lag? Do you mean on the YoloBox? There's a couple of different things. So if you're looking at this screen, the big version of me is probably not totally in sync with the audio just because there is HDMI processing going on. But the little thumbnails are like 3 frame per second previews of them. And I think that's just to save CPU because there's no need to show full frame video on those. But the in person, like when I'm looking at this, it doesn't really look super delayed. It might be a little bit, but it's totally reasonable. Rick says to put a green background on the iPhone, hit the big paintbrush and then choose appearance. Oh, thanks. Interesting. Well, I will, making slides on the phone is like not necessarily something that anyone really wants to ever do. Oh, there's an edit button. I see it now. There's what are we looking at? When I'm not in playback mode, if I load this up, there's a little, why am I getting, oh, I'm getting green screened out. That's funny. Here, let's look at let's turn off the keying. There we go. So now there's a paintbrush icon, and if I tap that, appearance, there's the background. And now I can choose the color. So, although you don't get full choices, interestingly. So I can't choose the right green because I only get these options. Interesting. I think it's better on the computer, but hey, that's still pretty good. Now I could turn the keying back on. Hopefully it still works. Yeah, it looks good enough. Cool. Okay. And there's the picture-in-picture version. Good stuff. I ran exactly that solution on a live stream this Wednesday, but I had to insert an HDMI splitter between to get all the different computers to feel as if it had a secondary screen. Oh, that's weird. They should recognize the Hollyland transmitter as a second screen. I wonder if just some computers are a little bit unhappy about it or something. Any remote guests coming on this stream? No, not right now. I'm not set up for that. Maybe sometime soon. It's been a while since I've had remote guests on a show. Jules says, speaking of remote, is there a way to bring a remote caller into a computer and chat in 2 windows on the YOLO live stream remotely? So yeah, dealing with remote guests is always a challenge. I want to say, I don't know what's the easiest. There's the Zoom option, which is I think the easiest, like, to set up and manage, but you don't get the nice clean feeds that way. You get the Zoom interface unless you use fancy versions of the Zoom ISO app and stuff. which is then harder to set up. The other way is video.ninja, which is a really good website for dealing with this. It's been actually a while since I've used it, and I know he's been working on it a ton. There's a lot of good features in here, but basically what this does is you can create a room here, and then remote people can join this. You can actually join it if you are fast enough to type that in and type in the password that you saw on the screen. You'll pop up here right now, and then you get these little remote windows that you can open to show the remote guests. So the idea is you would open this on a computer, go HDMI out from this window into the YoloBox, and then it looks just like any other remote or any other input. So, you know, if you're looking at the different sources, this HDMI 3 is my phone right now, but you could do it from plug a computer in and get the video.ninja feed showing up here. And then you could do, again, picture-in-picture, side-by-side, all the different layout options on the YoloBox. And that is, it's definitely doable. It takes a bit of work to make that work well. The other big limit right now, until they fix it, is you can only choose one audio source. So you won't be able to do like an interview style right now. That I know they are working on fixing that. So you'll get an audio mixer in here instead. But right now there's only one, you can only choose one audio source. So you can't do an interview style. But soon, in a firmware update, they will be coming out with the ability to have multiple audio sources on and adjust each volume independently. And then you actually can do side-by-side videos. So that is coming soon, but not there at the moment. Speaking of, the question about remote guests as a feature, I don't know. I have been asking them for it because I think the YoloBox is in a super good position to do that because it is an Android device, and that'd be great. The one thing you can kind of do right now is you can stream from one YoloBox to another. So when you go, I think I'm out of sources. Let me go remove this one. No, let me remove this one. So if you add a video source, see how there's this option for live stream? So you can go in here, and if you have other YoloBoxes signed in to the same account, and there's a live stream going, it'll show up here. So it's going to be a delay. It's not going to be immediate. So that's not quite what you want for like a interview style thing, but you can at least remotely bring in one YoloBox feed into your main YoloBox. I do think that they should make a proper remote guest feature though. And if you're interested in that, comment below, say something in the chat, because they do listen to feedback, as we've seen, and they do seriously take into consideration what all the customers are using this for and try to improve it. So I would love to see, for example, the ability to take one YoloBox and bring it in as like a caller to the other YoloBox where it is bidirectional. So you would essentially treat it like a FaceTime call, where, you know, the headphone output would be giving you the audio from the other YoloBox on both ends. It would work that way. That way you can treat it like a phone, because it is essentially just a phone with HDMI inputs. So you'd be able to essentially, you know, send a YoloBox to one person, your remote guest, have them kind of dial in and talk to them through the YoloBox. That needs to happen not over RTMP, because even though, like, you know, we're looking at the RTMP delay of the stream between the two versions of me on the screen down on the thumbnails, which is quick, but it's too slow for a conversation. So we would need the RTMP, we would need to reduce that even further, which means probably not RTMP. But the good news is that technology totally exists. It's what video.ninja uses. It is WebRTC would work just fine. And I think that would be very, very cool to see. Houston Professional Photography says, I would use that feature in my live streams for guests. Excellent. And yeah, Jules says, definitely interested in that for interviews one-on-one if you're listening. Cool. Sven says, guest feature in the YoloBox would be so helpful. Excellent. Keep the comments coming, because again, the more support the more support they see for these features, the more likely they are to get prioritized, because they do listen to what people are saying. Related, is there a wireless camera that connects to the YoloBox? So not directly, but you can take any HDMI receiver, wireless HDMI receiver, and connect it. So again, I don't know why I don't have one here. I thought I had brought one over, but the Hollyland 300 Pro or the 400S or CineEye, like those will attach to the stand. There's a little cold shoe on the back, and you can bolt it onto the back of the stand here, and then run the cable into here, into the YoloBox, and bring in any camera that way. So there's no like built-in wireless camera feature in the YoloBox, but you can bring any camera in over one of those HDMI transmitters. Will I use the Rodecaster Pro? Will this work? Yeah, totally. So there was a question at the beginning of the stream about that. And the only trick is dealing with the ground loop potential issues of if you hear like a loud buzz, that can happen with any audio gear. So double check that, like change the way things are plugged into the outlets or run one off a battery and things like that. But yeah, the Rodecaster will bring in audio into the YoloBox just like any other audio mixer. Epoch Cam works. The YoloBox doesn't have support for anything built in, but Epoch Cam is isn't that the one that is lets you use a phone as a camera, as a webcam into your computer? I don't think you can run that software on the YoloBox though. But I guess you could, you could use your computer as the receiver for it and run an HDMI cable into the YoloBox, but then you're kind of, again, back to like, you need something to capture that feed and feed it over HDMI. Another good one though, honestly, is an Apple TV. If you have an Apple TV and you can AirPlay your phone to the Apple TV wirelessly, your phone becomes a wireless camera essentially, which is a pretty good setup too. Does the YoloBox support NDI? No, it does not. It does not support NDI. I doubt it will, because NDI is just a whole another beast. Pasco Spark and Science data collection device built on Android platform. While it does not have HDMI, it does have USB-C and Wi-Fi. Do you think the YoloBox Pro would work with the Spark? I have no idea what that device is. What is it? This doesn't have HDMI out? Is that what you're saying? USB connection. Oh, so maybe it's like, maybe it shows up like a webcam? That must be what it is. Does it show up like a webcam on the computer? Because if so, it might work with the YoloBox's USB-C input. Trying to find, if it requires custom software on the computer, then it's not going to work. But if the output is just like a webcam output, then it might. Some of the webcams I've tried with the YoloBox don't work. I think the 1080p ones don't work. It has to be able to downscale to 720. So that's the one thing to keep in mind. John says, the guest feature is exactly the fit for my planned stream. I'll be interviewing folks around the world. The ability to stream conversations with up to 3 or 4 guests would be amazing. Ooh, yeah. That'd be super cool. That's the other way to handle it, is to kind of do essentially what Video.Ninja does, but in the YoloBox. And what you might try for now, since it's not built into the YoloBox, you might try using Video.Ninja, because you can do a lot with it. I should drop that link in the chat, since I just realized I showed you on the screen without dropping it in here. But Video.Ninja is a very good platform for dealing with a bunch of remote feeds and remote guests. The nice thing is the remote end doesn't need any special gear. It'll work with any webcam they have on a phone or a or a computer. If they do have a nice camera, like an ATEM with a good camera, that's great too. I would love to see some of that more built into the YoloBox, but that's probably a ways out because it's a lot more complicated than the other stuff we've been talking about. Okay. Desk Geek says, do you think Blackmagic will launch a new ATEM next year? I absolutely do. I 100% do. And I think it's going to be something that is maybe not the same market as the ATEM minis. If we look at the lineup right now, we've got all these ATEM minis up here, which are fantastic devices. The next tier up is these pretty expensive things, and then there's a very expensive one, and this middle tier is very old. These are missing a bunch of the features. The ATEM Mini Extreme even has features that these don't have. I suspect we're going to see a new lineup in this tier next year, if not this year. But NAB already happened, and IBC would have been next week, but it was also canceled, so who knows? They probably are still going to announce something next week, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, I think this is next up, which means they're going to be expensive, and they're probably not going to make your ATEM Mini Extreme or ATEM Mini Pros obsolete. So I would not worry about buying into the ATEM Mini line if that's more your style right now. And Chris is reminding me that StreamYard is also a good scenario, a good use case for that. StreamYard is just like simplest multi-person live streaming ever, but it is all web-based, so like you don't need anything. And if really your goal is just we need 4 people in a stream and we don't want to fiddle with anything, I would use StreamYard 100%. Because it does exactly that. You stream from that to YouTube or multiple places. It can do multi-streaming itself. I can even stream from StreamYard back into my studio. I've done that a couple times, just like I'm streaming from the YoloBox into my studio. Like you could stream from StreamYard to that Magewell device. And it makes the multi-person and like does all your layouts for you. It's way, way easy. Okay, cool. We've been going a long time. We've been going 2 hours, but that's what we do sometimes. Last thing I want to do is talk about, gosh, I didn't even get a chance to go through all of the new features. Let's do a quick feature dump again of some of the other updates that are available in the YoloBox, because we've only looked at some of the big ones. So, okay, quick rundown of some of the other features of the YoloBox. The new stuff. So just quickly going through some of these. One of the new things is if you swipe down, there's now a brightness control, and you can make the screen darker, which I guess they learned from ATEM, because ATEM Mini launched that a while ago, which is great because sometimes you're in a dark room and you don't want this to be the brightest light source. So that is cool. I have a feeling that also saves battery. I'm not 100% sure, but I have a feeling that that would help your battery life too. So that's good. Some of the other things that we've talked about a little bit in the past, there's new settings in here. So your streaming mode, for example, direct is now the default. So that goes directly from this over the internet to whatever your destination is. That now does also support Facebook. It used to not support Facebook, and that supports Facebook now. If you want to stream to multiple destinations, you do have to switch over to their service, and it streams from here to their cloud, and their cloud streams out. There's also now, not that one, encoding setting. New settings in here. So we've got constant bitrate, which is the default now and recommended, and I've got it set to 4 megabits. You can also now choose your frame rate anywhere from, I'm streaming, so let's turn that off, pause. You can't change it if your stream is live, obviously, but you can change your frame rate anything from 20, I don't know why you do 20, that's weird, but you can go 24, 25, 29.97, or 30. And then your bit rate, you can go up to 8, down to 2, You can change it to constant quality or variable bitrate. It used to be variable bitrate was the default. That was causing some problems with certain platforms. Certain platforms don't like variable bitrate streams, so you can change it to constant bitrate now, which is good. And then again, if you're recording, it used to cap out and start a new file every 10 minutes. You can change that now. So you can also change how long you want to segment your recordings. It does say if there's something wrong with the recording, it will, like, you may lose your recording. So they recommend still keeping it at 10 minutes. I just used this to record an event, and like there is no gap, so it's fine to keep it on 10 minutes. And it just turns into a bunch of little files that you can assemble later. The Facebook Direct, yeah, okay. And then other new stuff. We talked about the countdowns. There's a lot of the new color options have been added recently. So when you are looking at like the coloring of the countdown options, but you can also change the coloring of the comments. So if you go into here, these are the different templates available for showing comments on the screen. And here's where you can actually now change the colors again. So I can go and choose that one for the username field, choose where you want it to show up. I don't want it on top. And choosing the font again, which is cool. You can make it translucent. All these things are now options available to you, so you can make it look more like the rest of your stream. You can even change the size. So that's really good to see that added as well. New feature in the scoreboard is a countdown timer in here. So scoreboard, I don't use the scoreboard ever because I don't do sports, but you do have a countdown timer in here. There it is. How do you do it? Oops. How do we select the countdown time? There we go. So we can do a 5-minute countdown. And then it is now showing in the scoreboard. Make it a little bigger so you can see it. Yeah. So that's cool. Turn that off. And one of the updates from a little while ago is it used to be limited to only one video from the SD card. You can now load 2. So I can load one video from the SD card. Oh, I have to get rid of some of my other. I'll get rid of my side-by-side view. You can only have 6 things loaded in, but you can load 2 clips from the SD card now. So I can do, I guess now that there's a countdown timer, I don't need a countdown timer in my video, but before I would run a countdown timer from the SD card. Now it's just built in, which is even better. So we've got 2 SD card videos now available for choosing playback on there, which is good. And then last, one of the other things is back out in the main app. There's a new network test button. So with this, it just loads up the speed test website, which is cool. And then you can just do a speed test from your YoloBox, so if you want to test your connection and see how it's going. Good, 90 megabits down. What's my up? And upload. Sweet, also 90. That's good. I'm plugged in over Ethernet, which is probably helping. All right, so we've got screen brightness, frame rate, fixed frame rate. Oh, that was really good to see too. I'm glad they added the fixed frame rate option because I didn't like the variable frame rate. I felt like that was weird. So that's good. And yeah, countdown. Can you reposition the countdown, or is it stuck in the middle? You can. So if you want your, let's see, this is the one I set up before, right? So can I edit? Yeah, I can. So I can go edit, and then you can actually, where's the scale? So I can make it smaller, and I can move it. It does still add this translucent background, which looks like is not an option, which I feel like maybe they should add that option in case I don't want, in case I like, because if I have my title card over here and I want the countdown up in the corner, I maybe don't want the black background over it. So that would be cool. But yeah, you definitely can change where this is on the screen, which is good. So, yep. Is the record length option changed for delivery to client reasons? I don't know. I guess it's because the default is they didn't want to risk corrupting the file if something went wrong. So it will chunk it into 10 minutes, and then for publishing that video, you need to reassemble them. But I just drag all the segments into Resolve, and then you just have 10-minute chunks that are lined up, and then you can trim the start and end and export it. It doesn't end up really being any real extra work compared to having it all be in one file anyway. Randy says, Restream can handle guests on web. That's right. Restream Studio has built basically the same thing as StreamYard now. So it's same idea. Jules says, can an audio mixer coming in through the line in give the ability to mix two audio signals in the YoloBox? Yes, this is a good point. So the YoloBox itself right now, but this again is going to change soon. The YoloBox itself currently can only select one audio source. So I can say line in. But the line in doesn't have to be one source. It can be a mixer. So this is actually the Hollyland Lark plugged in right now, which means already I have two microphones available because the Hollyland comes with two mic capsules. So for that, I've already got two microphones into there. But if you were connecting a full audio mixer into the line in, then yeah, anything the audio mixer has in the in it will appear like one signal to the YoloBox. I lost my Chroma key on that when I switched over out of the project. Good question. Let me see what else. Let's see. Let's go back and stream this live again. So we're going to go back here, stream that live. Shows up as RTMP in my ATEM. And we talked about the countdown. We talked about adding graphics. I can go and choose lower third. I can add a background graphic. That's a silly background. And yeah, lots of options there. Cool. Oh, my battery is doing pretty well too. I'm down to 31%. It's been streaming for, oh, I lost my countdown because I just started it. Been streaming for over an hour on this thing now. I don't even remember when I started it. Can you adjust the recording to a higher bitrate like 20 or higher? Oh yeah, you can. So let's stop streaming and see if we can find that setting. I think it was in, no, not recording limits. I'm trying to remember where that is. I know it was in here. Start recording. No, there was an option for setting the bitrate. Maybe it's out here or something. Recordings. Those just are the recordings. Oh yeah, another new one. Screen rotate. You can flip the screen over in case you want to like hang it from a tripod instead of, so there's a tripod screw down here. So if you want to hang it from something, you can have it facing the right way and have the ports on the bottom. That's cool. I am not seeing the option for choosing the recording bitrate, but I saw that in the notes. Oh. Okay. I just remembered. It's in monitor mode. And in monitor mode, now the encoding setting goes up to 50. That's the difference. So here we have 2 is the lowest, and then you can go all the way up to 50. So you can't choose the recording bitrate while you're streaming, but you can if you're using it in monitor mode. That's the difference. Yep. Okay. Good question. What is monitor mode? It's the ability to get into this interface for using the YoloBox with all the overlays and countdown timers and all that stuff. It's the ability to use the YoloBox without an internet connection. So it can be offline and it will still work. It just won't be able to stream. You can see there's no go live button now. It's just for recording. But that's useful if you are just trying to record something locally and you don't want to have to set up an internet connection, because it used to be that you could only even open the app with an internet connection on. So that's good. That is monitor mode. Does it accept the ATEM mini USB as a webcam input now? I forgot to test it. I think it does, but now I don't remember. I thought they had fixed that, and I don't know if I have. I don't think I have a USB cable here to try it. Darn. Yeah. Can you recommend a charger for the YoloBox? It comes with one, so I would recommend that one. I have noticed it doesn't work with a Mac charger, so don't try to use a Mac charger with it, but it does work with the normal 5-volt chargers, but it also comes with one. So probably best to use that. Anybody from YoloBox on your stream today to help with Q&A? I haven't seen them, mostly because it's like 3 a.m. or something in China right now. Cool. Okay. That was the new feature summary that I want to share. And how much battery backup does it have? It's got a battery built into it, and I've been using it on battery this whole stream now. So we're down to 28%, so it's getting down there, but it's been on for a while now. So here, I'll just, for good measure, start streaming again and try to run the battery down. But it's been really good. Here's my lower third. Let's go set that up again. I like this little lower third situation. Main screen, HDMI, scale it full size, done, and there we go. No sound. Switch to line input. Now we've got the HoloLens mic on there. Good. And we're back in business. And now we can go back and add our overlays and stuff. Cool. Yeah, so I don't know. I haven't done a time test of the battery, but we're at 28%. It's been on. It's been streaming for a long time. Okay, lastly, what have we done here? We've talked about DJI Action 2. Didn't show you streaming from this camera, but we showed that last week. Same idea, RTMP direct from the camera. We've learned that the little whatever this is not a good microphone. Good to know. I need to remember that. Unfortunately, I don't remember what kit it came with. And the built-in mic into the HoloLens is, in fact, better. Yeah, I think that's about it. Cool. Well, that was fun. Fun Black Friday live stream. Do check out the links below, because I've got a lot of other products and stuff recommended. There's a handful of deals going on right now that are actually good deals. I know a lot of the deals for Black Friday are often look like they're marked down, but they're not, because most of the time the product's on sale anyway. But the there's a bunch of links down below. I've got, let's see, we've got the Hollyland Lark is actually on sale. The Mars 400S Pro is actually on sale. I've got these. I just bought these Western Digital drives because I was upgrading my NAS, and this is a really good deal for a 4 terabyte. But I actually got the 6 terabyte versions of these, so these were on sale too. Those links are down below. The Anchor, some good Anchor stuff on sale too. So that's I like them for batteries and chargers and stuff. They make good stuff, and there are some actual good deals. So I'm not big into throwing all of the links for everything that looks like it's on sale, but there are some actual good deals going on right now. So those are all down below. You've got a lot of real estate on your shirt for more microphones. It is true. It is true. I could get a few more on here probably. I don't need that one anymore. What NAS? I've been using Synologies for a while. Unfortunately, I just actually bought a new Synology NAS yesterday. It is no longer on sale. I got $100 off. I was happy. Sorry, it's not for sale anymore. It's not on sale anymore. I just got a 4-bay to use for some extra stuff, extra drives. I like the Synology stuff. They're easy to set up, and I don't tend to run a lot of apps on them. I mostly just use them for drives, and but I like them. Here's the Synology 4-bay. This is the one that was on sale yesterday, but for some reason it's not on sale today. So this was $450 yesterday. Yeah, and I think what am I putting in this one? I think I'm putting in 10 terabyte drives in this one. Yeah, so I'll have 27 terabytes total because I want one for redundancy. These things they have a good workflow for setting them up. Like, you don't have to, it walks you through everything step by step pretty much, which is really nice. I might do a video how to set it up, but it's maybe. There are some other channels that do perfectly good tutorials on that stuff though. And then, yeah, so again, just to recap the giveaway, the deal is the link is in the description, but I'll drop it in the chat. Go here, and there's a bunch of different ways to enter. You start with visiting Instagram, YouTube, and the YoloLive Facebook group. The reason it says visit instead of subscribe is because you can't actually require people subscribe according to Instagram's terms of service. But please do. It's appreciated. Anyway, you do those, you'll unlock more ways to enter, including some pretty fun stuff. I've hidden the secret code in this stream. It's been on screen several times now. It is a letter followed by 6 numbers. However, it does not look like that on screen. So you'll have to figure out what that means and find it. And we've also got subscribe to my newsletter. That's how I send out notifications about these live streams. Also, today in the newsletter, I listed out a bunch of these products that that we've talked about today. So you find out about good deals, find out about giveaways, things like that. You'll automatically get an email 30 minutes before a live stream, which I found is the most reliable way to get notified of my live streams, because YouTube does not send out notifications even if you have the bell clicked. They're not reliable at it. They choose who to send notifications to. And so yeah, if you want notifications, subscribe to the email newsletter. Make sure you let it through your spam filter, and that will send an email half hour before. I want to see photos of your gear, like of your rigs and streaming setups, whatever that is that you're using. So snap a picture, post it on Twitter, post it on Instagram, post it on Facebook, whatever it is, and then share a link to that in the giveaway. That gives you more entries. Post an Instagram story, something about streaming. Post a photo of your gear, or if you're out at a gig or something, tag me in that story. That'll count as well. And then, yeah, the giveaway is running. It's open between now and Sunday, and I'll announce the winners on Sunday, which will be at my normal live stream time, 10 a.m. Pacific. Sunday, we'll probably do the drawing live, which means you'll have about probably 20 minutes once the stream starts to finish your entries. And then this, I'm not going to show the secret code again, though, so that you have to watch this stream to find the secret code. And the, yeah, it'll be fun. See you back on Sunday. We'll talk more about all of this stuff, and do the giveaway. It'll be fun. Thank you, Darren. Great stream as always. Thanks for taking the time. You brightened up a gray day in Seattle. Yep. Cool. Thanks everybody for joining. Thank you for the questions, and thanks for the super chats. Yeah, thanks for doing these. It's fun to see the unpolished reality of how this stuff works. I know. I do appreciate the good, tightly edited videos on YouTube showing step-by-step tutorials and stuff, but also it is nice to see the less polished actually using this stuff in real time, not edited time. So it's nice to see both of those. Anyway, thanks a bunch. Thanks everybody for joining, and thank you for the super chats. It helps me continue this channel. It helps fund all the different things that I'm buying for this and products I'm developing. It's really great to see everybody here every week, and sometimes twice a week when I do a surprise live stream like today. It's been a fun one. Got to see some good demos of YoloBox stuff, and yeah, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you all again very soon on Sunday. Thanks.